and welcome back. I want to talk today about decluttering to increase your wealth. And it's kind of an interesting topic. Maybe the title grabbed you, but I'm going to talk about a few things, not the typical, don't sell your clutter to make some money. I'm going to get a bit more deep in this video. So if you're new here, you don't know me, I'm Jane Stoller, or some people call me Organized Jane. I love helping people and businesses get more organized. I do this mostly through my 6-step process in my course on how to get the back end of your business organized. I remove the clutter and gain you back your clarity. I want to talk about wealth and decluttering and how this fits in. And if you watch until the end, I'm also going to give you an exclusive opportunity to jump on a one-on-one call with me for free to talk about your biggest organizational challenge. And it's likely stopping you from getting the wealth or the freedom or the time that you want in your life. So I encourage you to watch until the end and then take advantage of this free offer that I'm really excited to talk to you about your specific needs. Now, a disclaimer, before I dive into this about talking about wealth and rich and money and all this, wealth means different things to different people. And for me, it means creating the money, time, and freedom in your life that you desire. So I've actually broken this video down into 3 things: money, time, and freedom, and giving you a few tips on all of them on how to declutter your life to increase those areas. And what is more important to you, whether it's more freedom, more time, more money, whatever it may be, those are your own personal goals. So let's jump right in. The first one I'm going to talk about is the one that you probably watched this video for, and that is money. Now, what does decluttering have to do with money? Yes, of course, you can buy less stuff and then you'll save more money, which is the super obvious. Also, you can probably sell a lot of the stuff you have around you to make more money. But again, it's all about creating those goals and decluttering those goals to get really focused on them. And if they're monetary goals, or if you have, a house you want to buy, or properties, or boats, or stuff, or whatever it may be, you probably have to reverse engineer your income goals to reach that. So I want you to get really focused on your material money goals and how you would achieve them. I always wanted an investment property in Whistler. I knew how long it would take to save for that. And I made this a goal and didn't clutter with other stuff coming in the way. I was laser focused on that and reversed engineer on how to get that. I'll be doing a video on how to run an investment property in the next couple of weeks too. So if that is interest to you, I run 2, even 3, and in the summers I ran more. My parents had a business as well running properties, so very well versed in it, and it's all about how you can be organized to make them flow smoothly. So I will be sharing a video, so hit subscribe below and you'll get a notification if you hit the bell when it'll be posted. So we already talked about money and how you can declutter to increase more of it. Mostly getting just really focused on those goals. The next thing I want to talk about is time. I'm such a big believer in time management, spending your time wisely, and so much so that the first step in my process that I teach all my clients is all about time management and getting really focused on your priorities on how to reach your goals. So they're all related. But one of the big things is that we hear a lot of times, I don't have time, I'm too busy, I wish I could do this. The funny thing is, you say you don't have time to organize your office, but then you spend 30 minutes looking for a file in your office cluttered desk, right? So the obvious is declutter your surroundings to save time, but also really understand where you're spending your time. So I've read a few books and articles on this. One of them was a Harvard Business Review article that talked about CEOs and where they spend their time. And they had their assistants track their time in 15-minute intervals. So it got really specific on where they spent their time. And the bottom line is that successful CEOs still had time to work out, spend time with their families, go on date nights, and also their calendars left room for reflection. So this is, if a busy CEO can do this, we all can have time in our calendars for things that we want to put in there. And we don't know how much time we have until we track it. So I'm a big proponent of spending, if anything from this video, spend a week, even a day or 2, just tracking your time. And you'll notice a few of it, you're like, oh my gosh, I wasted time on that. I don't need to be doing that. That is your newly acquired time you can use for something else. Also, Laura Vanderkam's book, I don't know how she does it all. Interviewed women in terms of they all had to make over 100,000, all have kids, and they actually had more time than they thought they did too once they started tracking it. So really, declutter to increase your wealth and your time is really about understanding where you're spending it first, and then getting really focused on, is it really the priority that I should be spending it on? I'm curious to know if you've ever done a time tracking exercise or what your biggest hurdle is when it comes to time management. Please leave the comments in the box below. The third one for me is one of the most important, and for me, wealth means freedom. And I worked in a corporate job for over a decade too, and I really, even in that job, I would still be trying to get freedom out of it by knowing that I worked most efficiently during these hours and I could, get my work done or exceed the expectations by the way I do things. So I really always tried to make my freedom even when I was working in a very structured role. As a kid, I always wanted freedom. I wanted to, do my homework when I wanted to do it, and I always craved that. And in my life and business now, I still want that. I want the freedom to be able to work from wherever. I want the freedom so that my business will be flowing, that I can take a vacation. I crave a lot of freedom, and to me that means wealth. So here are 3 tips on how you can create more freedom in your life. The one of them is redefining your spaces, because if you have a lot of stuff in your surroundings, a big house with lots of stuff, you're actually not free to travel or leave that space because you spent so much time and money on that house itself. So consider if you want to travel more, if you want maybe spend less time, you want to be freer to do things. Is the stuff you have, are you spending too much time cleaning it, moving it around, and spending time in it because you spent money in it or whatever it is? Redefine your spaces and take a good hard look at, does it fit with your lifestyle goals? Number 2 is outsourcing and automating. We hear these terms a lot. I don't suggest outsourcing and automating everything. First, you should look at your time and where you're spending it and what makes the most sense. But there's a lot of tools these days and a lot of people and support and virtual assistants that can help free up your time. You can free up even your physical meeting time, whatever it may be, to give you more freedom in your life and business. And the third is really sustaining and adapting different techniques to your lifestyle. If you want freedom, you're going to have to adapt and do things a bit differently. And then when your life changes, you're going to have to also adapt and do things a bit differently again. So whether it's systems, processes, your current closet, if you want to, freedom from, the stuff that's around you, from freedom from your job, from your business, whatever it may be, if you want the ability to work your hours you want to work, really make it a system and adapt it as the projects change, as your life changes. And that is the only way you're going to be able to sustain the sense of freedom. That's my video. I really think that decluttering to increase your wealth is really important. And I'm also looking at if you like this for a book title. So let me know. But if you like this video, please consider sharing it. Give it a thumbs up. Tell your friends. And I'd love to hear in the comments below what you thought about this video and if it helped you in any way. So I hope to see you next Tuesday, where I'll be sharing more tips and tricks on how to get your life and business more organized.